Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Shri Ramata Dandat Pranam, Hare Krishna. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, quick question. I have I sent to the assignment, were you able to receive them? I don't know if I had typed the correct email or what.
You sent to bhakti.shastri.rgb@gmail.com.
Yeah.
We should have received, Mataji. If not, I will bring it or text you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Can someone send a message that we have started the discussion? I'm not sure if we send a message that we have discussion today. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Prabhuji.
Can you send a message, Mataji, in WhatsApp group?
Yeah, sure.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanavad Pranam.
Padma Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanavad Pranam.
Jai Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam, Hare Krishna. Okay, I think we'll start now.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Divya Hemangi Devi, Dandavat Pranam, Hare Krishna. ओमज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरोन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजाता सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वंशाकल्पातरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yatkripatamaham Bande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपास्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्ताशक्तिकम्. Okay, is my voice audible, clear?
Ji Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you. So this is what we discussed last week. The last thing we discussed was the song by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Kita janma hao jatha tu adas. Kita janma hao yatha. Kita janma hao yatha tu adas. Bahi mukha brahma janme nahi ash. May I be born again, even as a worm, so long as I may remain your devotee. I have no desire to be born as Brahma averse to you. So but that's the last thing we discussed, the song of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. It's been 2-3 weeks up and down. We were not able to continue. Now this is the next verse. From Bhakti Vivek, it says, my dear Lord, as a souled animal has no need to think about his maintenance and sustenance. So because I have given up my body and soul onto you, I am no longer concerned about my maintenance and sustenance. Same theme, which is offering oneself or complete dependence onto Krishna. And this particular verse in Bhakti Vivek, it says, like an animal, if he sold to a master, then master in all circumstances takes care of the animal. Likewise, if we sell ourselves to Krishna, or if we try to engage ourselves in service of Krishna, Krishna will take care of our maintenance and sustenance. This faith one should have. Recently, I was contemplating more on this subject matter. Somehow this verse came here also. There is always a fear that if I serve Krishna, how will Krishna maintain me? But then we have many such fears are existing since time immemorial. How will Krishna maintain me? Like simple thing that we hear is, recently only I was hearing Prabhupada again was mentioning, Prabhupada says, elephant eat 80 pounds every day and Krishna maintains him. So why would Krishna maintain us who are trying to serve his mission? So Krishna will certainly maintain his devotees, especially devotees, Prabhupada says. So one story is when Narad Muni was going to Varanasi, he saw a hunter, and this hunter was half killing animals, and the only means of sustenance of the hunter was selling like the skin of the animal or the flesh of the animal, some kind of animal products, and he has a good customer base where people would come and buy, and that's how he would maintain his family and his children and maintain his house and maintain his responsibilities in Grihastha ashram. And it is said that he was very expert at his business of half killing animals, and there seems to be a difference in the flavor. Those who eat the flesh, a difference in the taste when the animal is killed with lot of pain or suddenly it is killed. Seems like some reactions happens in the body, and there is some difference. And he was very famous because he said, this art I'm getting from my father, and he got it from his father. This is in our parampara, and we don't reveal this art to anyone, how to kill animals in such a way that the flesh will be very famous. So this is what he was doing, and he was very expert, and he was very proud of his profession. This is professional life. Then Narad Muni was walking by in Varanasi, and he saw there were some animals in a pool of blood crying. Narad Muni's heart became very agitated. He became very much concerned. He was looking who is there, and as he was looking, all the animals who were, because this hunter was very careful. He was going into the forest, making sure no sound is made, so that any animal who is sitting leisurely, he would attack them and sell them. So when Narad Muni was searching and calling out the name of this hunter, all the animals ran away because of fear that some human has come. So this hunter became very angry. The hunter asked Narad Muni, "Sir, why are you calling me like this? You know, I'm this is my, what we say in Hindi, roji roti. This is how I sustain myself, and I'm very expert at half killing animal." Narad Muni was with wet tears in his eyes. Narad Muni asked this hunter, his name was Megari. He asked this hunter, "Why are you doing like this? Don't you see the pain that is being caused to them because of your act?" The hunter, in the beginning, he's like, like, this is our profession. That's how I maintain myself, and I'm very good at this art. Then Narad Muni, by his own mercy, showed to Mrigari how the soul is eternal, and every activity done to the soul creates a karma, and how every pain, every suffering we cause to others is going to come back to us. Every inconvenience we cause to others is going to come back to us, and how all the sinful activities that he has committed, it's being awaited for him to die, so the reaction can come to him. And this may, because Narad Muni, being a pure devotee of the Lord, gave a vision and self-realized knowledge to Mrigari that entered right into the heart of Mrigari, and Mrigari started shaking. And Mrigari got some glimpse of realization of what he was doing and the effect of a sinful activity. He trembled in fear, and he asked Narad Muni, "What should I do?" Narad Muni said, "Don't kill any animals any further. And whatever, because the money you have earned is through a wrong means, through a sinful activity, distribute to Brahmanas and the temples in charity. And don't do this anymore." It's like somebody coming to us and telling us, your work is not good. Whatever you have earned through your work, give it as charity, as donation, and don't take this work anymore. And this hunter was very much anxious. He's like, how will I maintain my bills? How will I maintain my family? How will I get the food? This is the only thing that is coming down from generation. And we only know this art, and I cannot do anything else. And this concern is there. Narad Muni told Mrigari, Krishna will maintain. You try to use your life in serving Krishna, serving others, and Krishna will take care of your maintenance. But because Mrigari had faith in his spiritual master, then Mrigari he became a Vaishnava. He stopped. This is like the power of a pure devotee and a fertile heart. Mrigari, although had become very hard-hearted because of his sinful activities, but Prabhupada says a moment of association of a pure devotee can transform the heart. And that's what happened to Mrigari. So here, this Bhakti Vivek said that anybody who is engaged in service of the Lord, why wouldn't Krishna maintain them? There is another story of this prostitute and Haridas Thakur, whose means of livelihood was from prostitution. And she was hired. Now, naturally, greed is there in anybody who want to become bigger and bigger. So this prostitute was also very greedy. So she was hired by the king to defame the glory of Haridas Thakur, and she would get a large amount of monetary benefit in return. And because of greed, she was very enthusiastic to um, put a dark spot on the spotless character of Haridas Thakur. But Haridas Thakur, by his own compassion and mercy, in 3 nights, he delivered the prostitute and he told her the same instruction that Narad Muni gave to Mrigari. He told her, because whatever you have earned is by a foul means, give everything in charity to Brahmanas and serve Tulasi. Sit here, serve Tulasi, chant the holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Become a saint. Try to use your life to realize Krishna. भारत भूमि पे होए मनुष्य जन्म जार जन्म सार्थक करी करो परोपकार. Anybody who has taken birth in the Bharat Bhumi, his responsibility is to simultaneously practice and share. Janma sarthak kari karo paropakar. Yesterday we had a wonderful association in the night of Ram Roy Prabhu. He is visiting from New York, very senior devotee. So he was mentioning how there is a lot of mercy embedded in sharing the message of Lord Krishna, sharing the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, sharing the Sankirtan movement of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to those people who otherwise would have no opportunity to hear about Krishna. Those people who are lost in this kind of the mesh of material existence, is this jal, this web of material existence, and trying to move up and down here and there, lost in their own existence. You show them, if you share the message to those who otherwise would not have any opportunity to progress in their life, if you become an instrument, that's how you receive the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's what Mahaprabhu has come to give. That's why Mahaprabhu is called Parama Karuna Pahudujana Nitai Gaurachandra. He has come to give that Karuna. And that Karuna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, I have so many fruits of love of God. I don't want to take them back. I am looking for somebody who can help me to distribute these fruits. We don't have to depend upon our strength. We only need to have a desire to serve. We only need to have a desire to serve. Once the desire is there, Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam Yenama Upayanti Te, Krishna will give us the intelligence how to serve. Saraswati Thakur gave this instruction to Srila Prabhupada. You go to the West and speak the mission, speak the philosophy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in English language to the Western world. Then Saraswati Thakur told Prabhupada, it will be good for you, it will be good for others. Yesterday, very, very long 1 hour discussion with Ram Roy Prabhu, and he was mentioning, if we try to serve others instead of thinking only about ourselves, if we try to think about others, then we don't have to worry about our anxieties, our stress, our problems. If you try to think more for others and less for yourself, you will be taken care naturally. Actually, all the problem arises because of the mind only. And Prabhupada says, mind can be controlled, all these emotions that trouble us can be involved. If we don't have time to think about them, rather we invest our time in thinking about how to serve. One person came to Prabhupada, very new. He asked Prabhupada, so will you give me initiation? Prabhupada says, well, I am seeing you for the first time. So if you answer 3 questions, then I will think about it. So he said, what are the 3 questions? Prabhupada said, so who is Krishna? So this person said, Krishna is God. Then he said, then who are you? Then he said, well, I am a servant of God. Then Prabhupada said, okay, so what is your duty? And he said, my duty is to serve Krishna. So Prabhupada said, all right, come to me, I'll give you initiation. It's simple. Krishna is God, we are servant of God, we are meant to serve Krishna. We are meant to assist Krishna. We are meant to assist Krishna. Prabhupada, I like this. Prabhupada says, try to become the well-wisher of Krishna. Very nice. Try to become the well-wisher of Krishna. Try to become a well-wisher of Krishna. How can we become well-wisher of Krishna? By speaking the glories of Krishna to anyone and everyone. Yesterday we were singing the song of Nityananda Prabhu, and the song says Nityananda Prabhu is free from any ahankar. He would go door to door. He would beg them to chant the name of Gaura Hari, to chant the name of Krishna. And he would beg in such a way, if they are unwilling to chant, then he would go down to their feet. He would start rolling on the ground like a sonar parvat, like a golden mountain. He would roll on the ground at their feet. This is Nitai, who is actually the source of Mahavishnu, who creates universes from his pores. But with the utter humility, Dante Trinadhari, with the blade of grass in his mouth, without any ahankar, without any false ego, he would go down to them and ask them, chant the name of Krishna, chant the name of Gaura. And he would touch their feet, fall at their feet. And this is the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu. And Lochan Das Thakur says that anybody who has not developed Ratina Janmilo, anybody who has not developed attachment for such an incarnation, who with utter humility has come to give us Krishna, anybody who has not developed attachment to such an incarnation, Lochan Das Thakur says, he is like an animal and he is a papi. He is a sinful animal. That's why he has not developed attachment to such an incarnation, who is mercifully smiling face coming to us and begging us. So, I mean, this Lochan Das Thakur song, Akkarodha Paramananda, he is Akkarodha, he'll never become angry. No matter how anybody would deal with Nitai, he is the well-wisher. One of the quality of a saint, Prabhupada says, is let all living entities be happy. Even if others treat me or give any hard time to me, we want to remain their well-wisher. Different people treated Prabhupada in different ways, but Prabhupada always said, "Your ever well-wisher." We see one of the quality of a saint is they don't take offenses. They don't feel bad on others' activity. They always remain others' well-wisher in all circumstances. One reason they do that is because they know that Krishna is sitting in the heart of all living entities. And they just don't want to cause any suffering to others. And there are so many examples. Very famous example we know is Jesus Christ, who was being crucified. Many people gave a lot of suffering to Jesus Christ, but he was praying to Krishna, Krishna, please help them. He did not take any offense. We see another example of Srila Haridas Thakur, who was being beaten up in the marketplaces, 14 marketplaces, by prosecutors with a hunter on his back, on his face, on his front, on his hand, on all the limbs of his body. And publicly he was humiliated publicly. This is a very intense case actually. And Haridas Thakur, knowing the suffering that would go to the prosecutors, he was praying to Lord, please don't give them any reaction. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he came later, he wanted to punish these prosecutors at that point of time, but because of the prayers of Haridas Thakur, it was not a lip service. Lip service means we say but we don't mean. It was from his heart. This is a natural quality of a devotee, that he does not take offense. There is another beautiful story of Quresh, who wanted to help his Guru Maharaj Ramanujacharya. So, in a particular instance, there was a king, Kolahala. He was a Shaivite, and Ramanujacharya was propagating Vaishnavism, Narayan, Vishnu worship. So, this king Kolahala, he sent his servant to catch Ramanujacharya. That time, Quresh was a disciple of Ramanujacharya. So, knowing when he saw the soldiers were coming, Quresh requested his Guru Maharaj to change the dress. Quresh wore the dress of a sannyasi, and Ramanujacharya wore the dress of a grihastha, and Ramanujacharya went into the woods, and people didn't care about him because he was in dress of a grihastha. They caught Quresh with Kanchipurna. And they took him to King Kolahala, and there they realized that this is not Ramanujacharya. But then they said, well, let us talk to this Quresh. And they asked Quresh, so who is God? And Quresh said, well, Vishnu is God. So because he was a strong Shaivite, he said, except Shiva is God. Otherwise, he said, no, Shiva is a great devotee of Vishnu. We worship Shiva also, but we don't worship him as independent Supreme Personality of Godhead. We worship him as a devotee. And this king, he became very angry, and he ordered to take the 2 iron rods, hot like fire, and pierce, this is very intense story, and pierce the eyes of Quresh. So they got hold of him. The prosecutors, they came with the fiery iron rod. They forced Quresh to open his eyes and push the rod into both the eyes of Quresh, 2 prosecutors, and the eyes started bleeding. And Quresh, although in intense pain and could not see anything, Quresh was feeling some joy in his heart that this is my service to my Guru Maharaj. I am happy that I could serve my Guru in a small, insignificant way. Later on, they punished. Anyways, so later on, Quresh was released as an example in the whole kingdom that those who worship Narayan will go through this punishment. He was a very cruel king. Ramanujacharya has a direct relationship with Narayan, and so Ramanuja, when he came to know, Ramanuja felt very humbled by having such a disciple like Quresh. And Ramanuja, knowing that whatever he went through is for my sake, Ramanuja intensely prayed to Narayan to please give Quresh his eyes back. So then Ramanujacharya, he told Quresh that you go to the temple and pray to Varadraj Swami. Varadraj Swami will ask you for a benediction. You tell Varadraj Swami to give you eyes back. So Quresh went to the temple, and Varadraj Swami, he asked Quresh asked for a benediction. This is the mercy of Guru. That Guru was so pleased by the sacrifice of disciple that Guru empowered the disciple. And because of pure devotion to Guru, Quresh got a darshan of Varadraj Swami. He heard Lakshmi Devi. This is like very intense fast time. So Lakshmi Devi and Varadraj Swami, they both spoke to Quresh. They asked Quresh, ask for a benediction. And Quresh said, take Kolahala, the king to Vaikuntha. This is the epitome. So Vardhan Swami said, what are you talking, Kuresh? Kuresh said, take him to Vaikuntha today. This is what I want. So this is a kind of a standard that is set by pure devotees who have set the standard of pure devotion. Uh, and later on, Vardha Swami told Ramanujacharya, this is what Kuresh have asked, and this is what Kuresh have asked. So Ramanujacharya asked Kuresh, why didn't you ask for your eyes? This is what I wanted. So, but Kuresh said, um, 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 uh, I don't remember exactly what he said, but basically he wanted to serve. So the nature of a devotee is this is a quality we want to develop in order to please Krishna. In order to please Krishna, we want to become others' well-wisher. We we don't want if anybody, like Jai Guru Prabhu once asked, if somebody misbehaves with us, what we should do? And then different people said different things. And Jai Guru Prabhu said, well, we should pray for them. And this is the example set by how Kuresh is asking Bhadra Swami to take him back. How Haridas Thakur is asking the prosecutors to not have any to not be punished, not have any reaction for this act, because they don't know what they are doing. And they don't have knowledge, so they are acting in ignorance. And it is said that because of ignorance only one suffering continues, because one actions are not in knowledge and the reaction comes to that. And Jesus Christ also said they don't know what they are doing, so my Lord, please forgive them. This is the responsibility of a devotee. So coming to, we saw the two example of and there are many examples of how Krishna will maintain if we have faith on Krishna. Then we don't have to worry about we don't have to worry about Prabhupada says work 8 hours and remaining 8 hours try to serve Krishna. 8 hours sleep, 8 hours work, and 8 hours engaging serving Krishna. And one of the anga, one of the item that is detrimental for our Krishna consciousness is over endeavor. Over endeavor means working very hard and no time for serving Krishna. This is something not conducive for our spiritual life, because even if you work very hard, two concepts are there. Even if you earn something, it's going to stay behind you. And only thing that you will take from this particular birth is your progress in your Krishna consciousness. Everything else is temporary here. Second thing, these things doesn't give us happiness anyways. It's just a feeling. And third thing is, you cannot get more than what your karma allows, even if you work hard. And that's why the idea is Krishna will maintain. Don't worry. Actually, a lot of people do spend a lot of time in hopes of security because of fear of future. What will happen? What if this, what if that, what if this, what if that? But then we see the devotees of the Lord, they depend on Krishna. And they know that Krishna will take care. And if Krishna doesn't take care, then that is what Krishna wanted. And then they surrender to the will of Krishna. So they don't depend upon their own strength and their own planning and their own savings and their own hospitals, but they depend on Krishna. This is what we see from the life of great devotees. So this is the mood of our Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Whatever I have, I am using it in your service. Manasa deho geho jo kichu more arapilo tuapade Nanda Kishore. Oh Nanda Kishore, whatever is mine, my home, my wife, my children, my body, myself, I am offering this as a service to you. Engage me in your service. And we see Another example of a person who has faith is Shivas Thakur. Shivas Thakur was a grahastha with children and he would not work. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Shivas Thakur, Shivas, you are a grihastha, you should work. Shivas Thakur, he clapped 3 times. Many of you may have heard this story. If you haven't, it's always nice to glorify the devotees as much as we can. Then Mahaprabhu said, why are you clapping? Shivas Thakur, you should work. Shivas Thakur again clapped 3 times. Again, Mahaprabhu said, Shivas, what are you doing? I cannot understand your action. You are a grihastha. You have responsibility to maintain your home, your family, everything. So you should work. Shivas Thakur again complained 3 times. And then Mahaprabhu said, Shivas, you are giving a lot of anxiety. What is this clapping? What does it mean? Shivas Thakur said, 1 clap, I'll wait for a day. 2nd clap, I will wait for 2 days. 3rd clap, I will wait for 3 days. If Krishna does not provide, then I will go and drown in Ganga, thinking that Krishna doesn't want to maintain me. That's okay. And I will take my family members with me and make them drown also in Ganga. This is actually the faith of Shivas Thakur. Very difficult to understand also for many of us, because everything is a matter of faith. Kanishta, Madhyama, Uttama, Shraddha Anusari. Everything is based on the faith, how much faith we have. And how much faith we have, that much faith we invest. How much faith you invest, that much Krishna will reciprocate. If you think Krishna cannot help me, what can Krishna do? I have to maintain myself. Then Krishna says, okay, then karma principle will follow. Whatever you deserve, you get it. But if you say, Krishna, I'm depending on you, I have nothing, nobody else to take shelter of. If you don't maintain me, I'm a dog, I'm an animal, and I'm a sold out animal, and I'm trying to serve you. And there is nothing else that is in my life. There is nobody else to whom I can depend upon. And please take care of me, please maintain me. And Krishna says, well, okay, this person belongs to me. I have responsibility taking care of himself. Krishna takes very good care. Everything is dependent upon how much faith you invest on Krishna. Krishna will reciprocate according to your investment of faith. Everything is based on how much faith we have. Shivas Thakur has that full faith. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, even if there is not a single grain on the earth planet, Lakshmi Devi, who is the goddess of fortune, who gives all, Lakshmi is, like wealth and everything, grains, everything comes from Lakshmi Devi. That's why goddess of fortune. So Lakshmi Devi, even if there is not even a single grain on the earth planet, even if Lakshmi Devi has to go and beg from the heavenly planet and bring the grains for you to feed you and your family, even if the entire world is starving, you will still be fed. This is my declaration today. Name Bhakta Panashyati, my devotee never perishes, Srivas. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told this in great anger. Great anger means it's the anger of ecstasy. He became ecstatic. In loud voice, he said, even if Saraswati has to beg, she will do that. But you will not go hungry, Srivas. This is how the Lord proclaimed, this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, how the Lord proclaims. And then Shivas Thakur has a brother, Ramai Pandit. So Shivas Pandit, Ramai Pandit. So Shivas Thakur told Ramai, you earn and you take care of maintenance, Shivas. And Ramai Pandit earned throughout his life to care of Shivas. So this is like, Krishna may arrange our maintenance through anybody. For Shivas Thakur, he arranged the maintenance through his own brother Ramai Pandit. Krishna can maintain Krishna will reciprocate through his devotees through some arrangements. It is our intelligence to see the hand of Krishna in everything that happens in our life. This is Krishna's pastime. Seeing the hand of Krishna in the events of our life is a symptom of our Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness means we are conscious of the hands of Krishna in every event of our life. And we can see how much Krishna conscious we are by seeing the hands of Krishna, by depending on Krishna. Okay, so this is from Bhakti Vivek. Next we go. both friendship and offering oneself. This is something that continuing from past life we saw. There is friendship and there is offering are difficult and rare. Indeed, only the very wise can attain these venerable practices. Venerable means very respectful practices, very elevated practices. And we saw um, friendship can be Krishna is my well-wisher, or friendship can be like considering Krishna as our equal. Considering Krishna as our equal is very advanced friendship. Considering Krishna as my well-wisher, as my maintainer, as my sustainer is our state. Um, but either way is just the principle of depending on Krishna and serving Krishna is a great opportunity. Offering oneself with intense feeling, Gajendra, without intense feeling, Bali Maharaj, we saw Gajendra offered. You see, Gajendra had tears in his eyes. And one thing that can make us offer prayers with feeling is suffering. That's why suffering is very good in our Krishna consciousness. Hard times are very good in our Krishna consciousness. Many times, if everything is going good in our life, we become proud. We have a tendency to become proud. But especially devotees, when they go through circumstances, difficulties that are beyond themselves, they actually take dependence on Krishna. They actually take shelter of Krishna. And that dependence in a helpless state immediately attracts Krishna's attention. Immediately attracts Krishna's attention. This is the reason why Kunti Maharani is praying, my Lord, let suffering comes in my life so that we can call out to you. And Kunti Devi also says that not by beauty, not by wealth, not by education, not by high birth can one attract Krishna's mercy, but only when one feels oneself helpless and with genuine feeling, Tom Akinchana Gocharam, with genuine feeling in a helpless mode, when one approaches Krishna, Krishna definitely hears and reciprocates. Krishna is attracted only by bhakti principle, and suffering brings us on our knees. With wet eyes, we pray to Krishna. Krishna, please help me. And in our suffering state, if we don't blame the instrument of our suffering, if we remain the well-wisher of others who cause our suffering, in that suffering state, with our heart on our knees, we pray to Krishna to help me. Great. Usually, when suffering comes, instead of taking shelter of Krishna, people start cursing the cause of their suffering, the instrument of their suffering. People become revengeful. People try to complain to others how they are mistreated. But if we remain the well-wisher of the instrument of our suffering and we seek out the help towards Krishna in that helpless state of suffering, knowing things are beyond our control, and in that helpless state of suffering also, one does not blame the other person, one blames oneself. Blame game, there is no scope of blaming others in Krishna consciousness. One blames oneself. See, my Lord, how wretched I am. I was still trying to serve in this manner, and this is how I am. Please help me so I can serve you. Please help me so I can serve your devotees. Please help me so I can remember you. Please help me so I don't make these mistakes again. Please give me strength to overcome my own anarthas. when one takes a humble position in a state of suffering, being the well-wisher of the instrument of our suffering, and feelingly praying to Krishna. This is nice. This is like Vishwas. Is Krishna is my well-wisher. Krishna is my friend. One can offer oneself in various moods. Servitude. One can offer oneself Krishna. Oh Srimati Radharani, oh Krishna, please engage me in your service. How can I serve you? Oh Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, how can I serve you? Oh Nityananda Prabhu, how can I serve you? Oh my dear Srila Prabhupada, how can I serve you? How can I serve your mission? Oh Guru Maharaj, how can I serve you? So one can offer oneself in a mood of servitude. One can offer oneself in the mood of friendship, which is an advanced stage like Madhu Mangal, or just as a well-wisher like Draupadi. Rupa Goswami cites Srimad Bhagavatam 10:50 to 39, illustrating how Rukmini Devi offered herself to Krishna in a romantic mood. This is another aspect of how one can offer oneself in a conjugal love also. Oh Krishna, how can I serve you? And that's how the gopis wanted to serve Krishna, is in a mood of pure love. And Krishna was very pleased because it was imbued with love. Actually, our devotion in a mood of awe and reverence to Krishna is a basic devotion, initial devotion, regulated devotion. But the devotion of natural love, like these friends of Krishna and like Rukmani and like gopis, this is advanced devotion. Okay, then the next article is offering a favorite article. My dear friend, if someone offers me the best thing in his possession or anything which is very pleasing to him, he will be eternally benefited. So what should we offer to Krishna? We should offer to Krishna that thing which is very dear to us, something that we are very attached to. We should give that to Krishna. This is called offering an article, not something that is of no use for us and then we offer to Krishna. This is not devotion. This is getting rid of our waste products so that let me get some benefit from those things that I have absolutely no use for. Let me give it to Krishna. This is a very bad mentality. Many times what people do is people use the clothes, torn away clothes, the jewelry which has gone bad, not the real gold, the plastic jewelry, which they don't want to use, they don't like. Anything that is not in their possession, they say donate it to temple. That's why temple is filled with trash in India and in America. People go and dump things in temples. Why they want to dump things in temples? Because anyways, I am going to throw, instead of throwing in a garbage, let me give it to temple. I will get some benefit from that because I gave something for Krishna. This is not a right attitude. This is not bhakti. Krishna also sees. You want to use the best thing for yourself and you want to give the trash to the temple. Krishna is your trash can or what? Krishna is meant to be served with devotion. That's why Rupa Goswami says, give the thing that is very dear to you to Krishna. In such a way, my Guru Maharaj says, you should give the thing to Krishna in such a way that it should cause some pain in our heart by giving. And that pain will relieve us from our attachments. Our attachment to things in this world is a cause of our next birth. Why we come again? Because we are attached to this place. Just like a hog is attached to stool, just like different people are attached to different things, we are also attached to things in this world, and that's why we don't want to part off from it. But one anga of Bhakti Rupa Goswami says is giving things that will shake our attachment, that is dear to us. Another thing that we can give to Krishna is thing that is dear to Krishna but may not be dear to us. Like for example, giving a peacock feather to Krishna. It is very dear to Krishna. But for us, a peacock feather may not have much importance. But for Krishna, it's very dear. Just like offering tulsi to Krishna. We think it's okay if tulsi is not offered to Krishna. But then tulsi is very dear to Krishna. So two things. First thing is giving the thing that is very dear to us to Krishna. There is a very beautiful story where one, Purushottam Dev, those who may not have heard, there was this king Purushottam Dev. He his I think it was okay. Anyways, in the line of Maharaj Prataparudra, this is just before Mahaprabhu's appearance. They brought Sakshi Gopal to Jagannath temple. Sakshi Gopal went to, he witnessed one young Brahmana, old Brahmana. He went as a Sakshi to the village of the old Brahmana, and they built a temple. They were worshipping there. Chaitanya Charitamrita explains this. And then the king of Orissa, who was like the forefather of Maharaj Pratap Rudra, he brought Sakshi Gopal later on to his kingdom in Orissa. And the wife of the king, she had a very dear ring, very pure, very exquisite. It's a gold ring that she loved the most. And she thought, because I love this the most, I want Sakshi Gopal to wear this. And she went to Sakshi Gopal Mandir, where the deity came, and she saw Krishna does not have a um, uh, have a chhed, have a hole in his ear. So she was thinking, how can I offer this to Krishna? He does not even have a hole. So she became very sad, and she went and she slept. Then Kanaya came in his dream, and Kanaya said, Mama, mother, see, I have a hole. And he came in the form of Sakshi Gopal. He says, see, I have a hole. Yashoda Maya made a hole when I was child. Please come and give this ring to me. And then like Krishna is hungry for our love. And then this queen in the night, she told the king, I got a dream. Sakshi Gopal came and he said, we have a hole. Then the king said, yesterday only went and checked and he does not have a hole. So they said, let us go now. So in the dead of a night, they went, they opened the temple, turned on the light. Sakshi Gopal was standing, and then they saw Sakshi Gopal has a hole. And then very happily, she put the ring on his nose and she became very happy. So this is a devotee. A devotee means offering something to Krishna that is best to us, and we want to see Krishna to have the best. All right. So being a surrendered soul, Lord Narasimhadev says, anyone who prays unto me and takes shelter. I think this is the last verse we will cover today. Lord Narasimhadev says, anyone who prays unto me and takes shelter from me becomes my ward, and I protect him always from all sorts of calamities. So Narasimha Puran, Narasimhadev himself is telling, anybody who prays to me, take shelter of me, I protect him always. I protect him always from all sorts of calamities. So being a surrendered soul means if we surrender to Krishna with faith, Krishna will definitely reciprocate. Lord Narasimhadev is telling himself, if somebody asks for protection, I offer him protection. I protect him from all sorts of calamities. In the Hari Bhakti Vilas, there is a following statement about self-surrender. My dear Lord, a person who has surrendered himself onto you, who is in firm conviction that he is yours, and who actually acts in that way by his body, mind, and words, can actually relish transcendental bliss. So this is the last statement. Hari Bhakti Vilas by Sanatana Goswami. He quotes different scriptures and he mentions a person who prays to Krishna like this, my Lord, I surrender unto you. With my body, mind, and words, I want to serve you. He actually can relish transcendental bliss. He becomes very happy because of surrender to Krishna. Okay. Are there any discussion at this point of time? Any questions? All
Thank you
right.
very much, Prabhuji.
So,
Very inspiring session, Prabhuji. All the pastimes were inspiring, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, can I ask one quick inquiry, Prabhuji?
yes, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, like when we pray to Lord in suffering, then we get protection. But what should be our mood while praying during the suffering? So we hear the Gajan pastime. So was he praying to be relieved of the suffering, or was he praying in a mood, my Lord, I am yours. I'm away from you from so many years, so many births. Please accept me. So I want just an inquiry on Prabhuji, what should be our mood while praying in suffering?
Well, he was suffering. He saw Narayan coming, and he was so pleased to see the Lord that he wanted to. His suffering continued, but he was um, um, he just wanted to serve the Lord. So, like my spiritual master says, all he did is he took a flower and he saw Narayan and like, my Lord, this flower is for you. That's all. And like my spiritual master says, Gajendra did not ask to be relieved from his suffering. This is amazing proof. This is like
Wow,
pure
amazing.
devotion. Gajendra did not ask. Clearly Maharaj says. And he said, Gajendra, just my Lord, this flower is for you. So then Gajendra asked, I was hearing in one devotee's lecture. So Gajendra asked, my Lord, why did you come? Then he said, I came because you called me. Then, um, but what was the purpose of your coming? I came to help you. Then he said, you came to help me. You came because I called you. Then why did you help crocodile? By liberating him and sending him to your abode, by giving him liberation because killed by him. Then he said, because he took the dust from your feet. That's why I gave him liberation. This is what he was mentioning. And anyways, Gajendra did not ask to be relieved from his suffering, Prabhu. He just out of love offered flower to the Lord. Very difficult, but for us in our suffering, it's okay to approach to Krishna. Krishna, please help me. That's all right. But there is something higher. But at my stage, I can say this is all right. Does it help, Prabhuji? Antrik Prabhu, is it okay?
Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Okay, so we will end here. Dear Prabhuji's, Mataji's, thank you for joining the Dandavat Pranams. Vansha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Anant Koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. If I spoke anything wrong or inappropriate or hurted anyone, please forgive me as a humble servant. Dandavat Pranams, Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, Mataji's, Prabhuji's, Dandavat Pranams, Hare Krishna.